mean, we just heard from Jalen asking about Madden ratings,
Oh
saying
yeah,
it don't matter to him because he's gonna boost up to 99 anyways. You
yeah.
gonna have to touch your speed up after.
I mean, I guess that's the case. I mean, I tweeted at EA probably what 2 days ago or yesterday, just basically saying like, hey, do I exist? And they sent back a image under my reply like a picture of the top 10 running backs. I'm like, no, 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 that's not what I mean. I want to be a top 10 overall, but no, that's all good though. Once you show that speed in game, that's when the adjusters come. I'm gonna be talking to Chad, hopefully here soon. So
I think at the end of last year, you said when you talked to McDaniel at the end of the season, he said you wanted to run the ball more.
yeah.
This year. Did you get that in writing?
Uh, I should have got it in writing, honestly. But nah, we had talked, and it was a great conversation. I personally took on the challenge of being more of a productive back, just because last year I was coming off of a knee injury, and then having to settle back in my ways, and I started picking those things up towards the end of the season. So. And he realized that too. Early on I wasn't technically myself, just because, like I said, I had that in the back of my mind. But once you gain that confidence in yourself, and especially coming back off an injury, it's definitely eye-opening once the season ends and then you reflect. And now I'm like, hey, look, I got one full year, being healthy. Now it's time to ride. I'm ready to go. So just having that conversation with him was definitely enlightening.
Raheem just kind of
talk about the fact that the second year coming back from that knee injury, they feel like themselves. So was it at the end of the year you started to feel like yourself, and what are your expectations year two?
Yeah. So, when you come back from an injury, the first couple months is, it's almost a mental game. And that was the case for me. I was in a little bit of a slump because I didn't know if I was going to re-injure it, if the game was going to be a different pace than I'm anticipating or, normal to. But once you start getting that groove and feeling yourself, I mean, you see towards the end of the year, I was starting to gain more confidence. Even, Coach Stews even mentioned that too. So a lot of errors I was making early on, and then I started honing in on my craft a little bit more, feeling more comfortable, and then, it was time to go. But, like you said, coming into year two is definitely a little bit easier, especially the fact that I'm not thinking about the knee. My focus now is solely on improving my game and how can I be elite at the top, upper echelon of the running back game. So that's my main focus now.
Raheem, just kind of piggybacking off that, you mentioned this offseason, no have to worry about rehab. So
Yeah.
what has that growth been like for you? Like, what have you been able to
Yeah, the growth has been unbelievable. Just being back, running full speed, taking advantage of the opportunities that I have off the field, during the off season, and really just honing in on myself and my abilities. I'm starting to. I mean, I've been involved in the pass game, throughout my career, but now I'm starting to really see myself being more of, that elite pass catcher, just solely based off of just focusing on that. So it's very enlightening, like I said, and I'm excited. I'm so excited, guys. Y'all really have no idea.
We talked to you after the team drafted Devon A-Chain, and you were really open to bringing him in, welcoming him, and continuing one of your ways. Now there's still talk of even adding another running back in Dalvin Cook.
Yeah.
What would you think if the backfield got even more crowded?
Yeah, I mean, the backfield, I was in San Francisco. And we brought in Tevin Coleman, Jarrett McKinnon, Matt Breida, just to name a few guys. They're all starters. They're all elite guys, and they've made unbelievable plays in their career. And just to add somebody like Dalvin will be good, in the backfield. But at the end of the day, it's more so about what's on the team right now. The guys that we got to work with, and just be better as a group. It'll always be a bonus to add a running back in. And we all learn and piggyback off each other. I mean, you see what happened last year when we did add Jeff Wilson to the mix. You see how the game went for both of us in the running back room. So a lot has come from the value of adding another running back. It's more of a running back group rather than going against each other, because we're all on the same team at the end of the day. So that's the approach that you have to have, and be a professional about it when you're bringing in somebody. So.
Raheem, you guys obviously add a few pieces in the running back room and on the offensive line, but by and large, same running back room back as last year, same starting lineup from the opening day, offensive line back again. How does the continuity of all those guys being back together for a second year benefit the offense?
Yeah, I mean, the continuity is just going to get more and more explosive, and you're going to see, even with a guy like Tua, him settling in for his second year. I know in previous years had a new offensive coordinator every year he's been in the league, but to be able to finally hone in on the second go around on the offense, I mean the sky's the limit. I've been in situations where I've had a offensive coordinator come in and then be gone the next year, and then another offensive coordinator come in, and next thing you know, he's here for another year, and it just got, revamped. The offense was just better, moving more fluently. So, I trust Mikey that he's going to get the job done and calling the correct plays and doing what he has to do as both the head coach and, the coordinator, but and Frank and everybody else in the offensive side of the ball. So the continuity is going to be there. It's going to be great. I already know it, and I'm truly excited about it.
This is your second year with Tua. You worked out with him in the offseason. What have you seen in terms of growth from a leadership standpoint from him?
Yeah, the growth and leadership standpoint, comes from, he's natural at that. But now that he's starting to take on that role of truly getting everybody in the right position, doing what he has to do. I was throwing with him a couple weeks ago with a lot of different guys, and he was just on point. Just the way he tried to have everybody aligned and made sure that, hey, look, Raheem, I know you don't play this position all that much wide out, but you have to be right here at this point, so that way when you break in or you have an in-breaking route, then I could throw you the ball right on time. And it's just to see the maturity in a guy like Tua, man. He knows that he wants to be on point. He knows that he wants to be a great quarterback in this league, and he's doing everything in his power to do that and make it happen.
Raheem, going back to Mike, over the years that you've worked together, what are some things that you noticed about how he approaches an offseason, how he comes out of an offseason? Does he tend to maybe obsess over things that went wrong the year before?
Mm-hmm.
I'll let you say.
Yeah, so Mike, what's the beautiful thing about him is that, he's going to look back at the season from last year. He knows everything that he, did that was, not his best work, and then he's going to readjust and do everything he possibly can to not make that same mistake twice. That's the saying that he uses a lot, I don't want to make the same mistake twice. And so in year two, being a head coach, I think that you're going to see a lot of different changes with him, more so dialing in on different aspects of the game. He's very intelligent, as you could tell. He understands the game a lot, and he's going to be working his tail off to make sure that he gets all the guys in the right position to win. So I know that from firsthand to seeing it, when we was in San Fran together, to now. He's going to make those corrections, and he's going to get it on the same page with everybody.
If I could follow up just real quick, my bad, bro. Speaking about that firsthand experience, any specific memory come to mind of something that, you just saw him change over the offseason?
Yeah, technically, there was a game where I know he would be on the plane, and me and him would talk. I would go up to him because, as a friend of mine, and I would just talk to him on the plane. We'd have a long ride or whatever, and I would ask him like, hey, what were your thoughts, not only in the run game but overall. And a few instances where he was just like, I made a couple bad decisions, I made a couple bad calls on my end, and I can't put you guys in that position, which is understandable, as a head coach. But then you also have to look at it as a player aspect too. If you call a certain play, you expect that play to be executed, regardless of the situation. So for both of us, I know that it's very important to him that he really wants to adjust and grow and mature in that aspect of not making those mistakes. And that's what he's been able to do so far.
Raheem, a question about your position. There was recently a Zoom call among running backs talking about your role in the game. And I'm wondering what you think about the running back's role league-wide financially, the running back's role league-wide on the field, and the running back's role specifically in this offense, because you talked about Mike McDaniel wanting to run more.
Yeah, it's a very touchy subject right now, especially in the position of the running backs. This game is evolving more so than ever into a pass game, and you have to look at it as, hey, look, this is something that we have to adjust to, but at the same time, we still understand our value. As you could tell, you can see what's going on with all the different running backs, not being paid the way they're supposed to be, which is unfortunate. But I think it's definitely one of those points where you do have to make a stand. I mean, think about other positions in the league that back in the day were non-existent. Receivers were definitely that case, and now they're being blown up in the aspect of being important in the offense and vice versa. So in regards to the running back, we do have to do a lot, and it's definitely sad that it has to be at this point. But I mean, like I said, it's understandable too, just because the game is evolving. But if you see what we're able to do, I mean, we're the ones that's taking the hits. We're the ones that's blocking guys that are 2, 3, 4 times bigger than us. I mean, and we're also running the ball and catching out of the backfield and being in a position where we have to run routes too out of the slot. So the value of the running back position is definitely going down. But it's time for teams to make a stand and guys like us to make a stand. That is definitely an important game, because when the pass game is not non-existent, who they gonna lean on? That's just a question that you got to ask yourself. And it's definitely the run game. So I know that it's. I mean, I was a receiver at once. That's my natural position. So I understand the receiver's aspect as well. But in this league right now, you definitely have to value the running backs, and it has to happen. So something has to change.
Did you see Connor Williams come in today? And if so, how nice was it to see your center after
Yeah.
he wasn't around for
Yeah,
offseason?
I saw Connor, and it was exciting just because I mean I want to see all my guys out here. All the guys should be out here, but if it holds true and guys feel like they need to do whatever they have to do, then so be it. But it was good to see Connor out here, man. He's definitely a bright guy in this offense, and he's a key aspect too. So.
Thanks, Raheem.
Yeah, thank you guys.